Always good to have you with us on this Wednesday edition of Live and Local. Time to check in with a guy that wants to serve as your city councilman in Ward 6. He is a candidate for Las Vegas City Council. He is Ray Spencer, and he joins us. Ray, how are you, sir?
I'm great, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just the big question I always ask when anybody says I'm going to enter the arena and I'm going to campaign and I'm going to finance and I'm going to run for election, I always ask the question why? Why this seat? Why Ward 6 and why now?
You know, I tell people I slipped in the shower and hit my head. You know, as far as running for city council. It would be my joke. But the reality is, look, I've been frustrated the last couple years, and I found myself doing a lot of complaining and just kept complaining. And I figured when the seat became open, I was in a great position to make some change, and who better than myself?
Now, a lot of people may not know who Ray Spencer is. Give us a thumbnail sketch of your bio and who you are and where you came from.
So, you know, most people probably know me. I'm the homicide lieutenant for Metro Police. I've been there, Metro and police officer for almost 25 years. I've had a great career, and I'm retiring here in May. But been in Las Vegas since 1980. It's a unique experience I had as a kid. I moved from Detroit because my dad was hiding out from the FBI. My mom pulled me away from that environment when I was a kid, and I just watched her struggle working two jobs to raise me growing up here in Las Vegas. And, you know, I learned the value of work ethic. I used to work at Tropicana Pizza at 12 years old, delivering flyers. And a lot of those experiences just helped me to be the person that I am today. I graduated from Western High School, went up to college in Reno and started working as a police officer up there. And then I ended up coming back home here in 2002. And best move I've made, moving back to Vegas with my friends and family.
Isn't that great? Now the question is, why Ward 6? It is an open seat. It's the Michelle Fiore seat. Why Ward 6?
Well, I still live in Ward 6. I've been there for over 10 years now, and I just see a lot of issues and things that are deteriorating in our quality of life. And, you know, I could spend your whole show talking about all the things that I think are wrong, but I'm trying to prevent Las Vegas from turning into Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. And if you look at some of the problems that you see in those cities, there's starting to be problems here in Las Vegas. And, you know, I just think we need elected officials who aren't scared to speak up for the majority of us who want to maintain our quality of life and want to live crime-free.
I know you've been campaigning in Ward 6, and I'm curious what people are telling you. What is it that people want out of their next city councilman in Ward 6?
Well, I can tell you, you know, I've been walking door to door for quite some time now, and the number one issue that continues to come up is crime. You know, and you look at the increase in crime and property crime and violent crime in the Northwest area, it's concerning. And if you live in that area, and you're familiar with the area of Osa Blanca and Durango, you know, Metro Police has a crime camera up there for several months because we're seeing an increase of crime in that area. And the police need support from City Hall, and I believe that I'm going to be the best person to give those officers that support. And also, when you look at, you know, city budget, 40% of city budget is public safety. And I think you need to have somebody with a police background and common sense and leadership sitting on City Hall or sitting on City Council.
Let me ask you, though, a lot of politicians across the country talk about public safety and crime and this and that. Some say defund the police. Others say refund the police. I'm curious where you are. How is it the City Council can help in this issue of public safety?
Well, I can tell you if you are a defund the police person, I am definitely not your candidate. Vote for someone else. I definitely believe that Metro and our police in our valley need our support. And, you know, that's the biggest thing is at City Council, you control the purse strings. It's 40% of the budget, again, comes from City Council. And that input, you know, having a law enforcement background, I think is extremely important when you're making decisions that impact, you know, your families and my family's safety in our valley.
I want to ask you about something that has happened on your watch, and that is the homicide division. You are in the news just about every day, and I want to ask you, the numbers that you have amassed are absolutely stunning. Can you talk a little bit? I mean, it's okay to brag if it's true.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we lead the United States right now in our homicide solvability rate, and the national average is 64% nationally. We solve 93% of all murders that are committed in this valley. And that's, I have a great team that I've assembled under me that work day after day working to solve these murders and bring justice to victims and their families here in this town. And I'm very, very proud of that accomplishment. But again, I can't do that alone. That's the people that work for me and that are doing phenomenal work. And that's one of the things that I'm going to bring to City Hall is I'm very good at getting, people to work together and accomplish a goal. And that's one of the things that you need is compromise, and you need people to work with other elected officials. And that's why I think I'll be great in the position.
Again, Ray Spencer joining us, running for City Council, Ward 6. Ray, let me just ask you, because I know there are other issues besides just public safety and crime. What are some of the other things you're hearing from folks when you go knocking on doors?
I can tell you the next issue I always hear is, people don't want overdevelopment. People are concerned that there's been too many large-scale apartment complexes that have been built, and that those are causing an increase to traffic in the area. It's also causing an increase in crime, but it's also overwhelming our schools, which are already, if they're not the worst, they're the second worst in the nation. So, development, and also, people want some opportunity or want recreational opportunities in the Northwest, and those are some things that I think I'd like to work with some people to bring, like an outdoor pedestrian village, similar to what you have downtown in downtown Summerlin. Just some good ideas so people don't have to leave the Northwest for entertainment opportunities as well.
Now, I know that you're retiring from Metro in May after 20 really great years with Metro. You will then be essentially a full-time city councilman. That'll be your gig. Am I right?
I will, and that's what I think is great. It's after 25 years in law enforcement, and I'm in a great position where I am able to retire, but I'm also able to dedicate a part-time job, which I will work as a full-time position, because it's going to take a lot of man hours and a lot of work to accomplish a lot of the goals that I want to accomplish.
I want to ask you, because I have people all the time coming to me and say, I always vote in presidential elections and when there's a Senate race going on or a tough House race, but they never really get down to our neighborhoods and to our city council races and our school board races. Can you talk about why this election in Ward 6 is so vitally important?
It's so important, because when you look at the things that affect most of us, it's all local politics. And, city council has a lot of impact on your quality of life. And, do you want a city council person who's going to be, soft on crime? Because if you look at, like, for example, appointing a city attorney, those are things that a city council person does. You want to make sure that you have a person sitting in City Hall that is looking out for your best interest and your families, and that you can trust that are going to make the right decision for the right reasons.
One of the things that's important about an interview like this is I love to give candidates an opportunity to say what it is they need. Every race is different. Some want yard signs in yards. Others want folks that can walk neighborhoods or answer phones. Or sometimes it's just they need money. What is it your campaign needs at this juncture, and how can folks reach out to you?
Well, first off, I give my phone number to everybody, and it's my phone number, my cell phone today. It'll be my number even after the election. It's 702-419-1301. You can also reach out at electrayspencer.com. And we're always looking for volunteers to help walk doors with me. And like I said, I've been doing that for the last couple of months. And any support, we're always asking for help, both financially, and if you're able to donate your time, that would be very beneficial as well.
Ray, what are you going to miss most about retirement from Metro?
I love the job. Being a homicide investigator, and the work that we do here at this department is exceptional. When you see and you're able to hug victims' families because they're so overjoyed that you're able to give some closure, is just an unbelievable feeling. I'm going to miss the camaraderie. I'm going to miss the people. What I won't miss is the 137 times I got called out of my house last year, or the 80-hour work weeks. I'm definitely going to take some time to sleep at night because the job has been an overwhelming demand, personally and on my family as well. So it'd be a nice little change of pace.
Ray, again, that phone number, if folks want to reach out to you,
is 702-419-1301.
Ray Spencer, best of luck in this race in Ward 6. Be safe out there on the campaign trail, walk in neighborhoods, especially at night. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. We'll have you on again.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
There you go. Ray Spencer, candidate for Las Vegas City Councilman Ward 6. That's the old Michelle Fiore seat. Michelle is moving on to state treasurer, and a whole lot more coming up in just a couple minutes. I'm Kevin Wall. Good to have you with us on AM 670 KMZQ.